Once upon a time, in a beautiful apple orchard, lived a family of tiny worms. They weren't the kind of wolves that live in forests, but little apple worms. There was Mama Worm, Papa Worm, and their two worm children. In winter, they would hide inside the apple tree, and in summer, they would live happily inside a juicy apple. One day, a hand reached up and picked the apple they were living in. The apple was placed in a basket, then into a car, and taken to a city market. The market vendor placed the apples, including the one with the worm family, on the display. The worm family was confused and looked around in surprise. Just then, a little girl passed by with her mother and said, "I want an apple." She reached for the worm family's apple. After her mother paid, the girl put the apple in her bag and went home. When she was about to take a bite, the worms called out, "Hello, we are the worm family. Please don't eat us." The little girl was startled but curious. "Don't be afraid, we're just little apple worms," they said. The girl, intrigued, asked, "What can I do for you?" The worm family replied, "We can't live in the city. Can you take us back to the apple orchard?" The girl thought for a moment and said, "There are no apple orchards here, but I can take you to a pine tree in the park." The worms agreed, and the girl gently placed them on a pine tree. From that day on, the apple worms became pine tree worms. The little girl visited them every day, bringing apples for them to eat. They lived happily ever after, munching on apples inside the pine cones.